Do you have a bunch of onboard credit and you're trying to figure out what the heck to do with it? Well, this video's for you. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, Rob from Sea-kers, and welcome to our tip show today. Today we're going to talk about onboard credit and all the things you can use it like a pro so you can enhance your cruise vacation or in fact save some money on your very next cruise. But before we get into that, we would like to thank everybody who has become a member of this Sea-kers community. Thank you so much for doing it. We love having you folks here. And if you love tips, you love tricks, you love all things about cruises, especially cruise deals, think about subscribing and turn that notification bell on. It is so appreciated by us. Thank you so much for doing that. And while you're down there, hit that like button. It does help that YouTube algorithm. It does help this community grow. And we would love to see more people here at Sea-kers saving money on cruises, learning about cruises, learning about hacks about cruises. We would love to do that. Thank you for hitting that like button. So, how to use your onboard credit like a pro? Well, let's get into it. So one of the first things I personally like to do with my onboard credit is to upgrade my Wi-Fi and my drink package. One, I need premium Wi-Fi. I do a lot of business on the cruise while I'm on the ship and I'm enjoying myself. So I do need that premium Wi-Fi. I do need to maybe do some Zoom calls. I do need to do Wi-Fi calling. Sometimes I do like to stream. So if you are in my kind of position, think about using your onboard credit as a way to increase your Wi-Fi performance if you don't have premium Wi-Fi already. Also, I don't like to have a bill after I get off the ship. So I like to upgrade our package of our drink package if we just have, like, say, a classic package to the premium package. Many cruise lines now have more than one drink package and they're stratified. So personally, I don't want a bill. I will pay upfront to get to the premium package and I will use onboard credit for that if I have any. Now, another use for onboard credit that we do is when I see some really good sales for excursions that are provided by the cruise line, I will use my onboard credit for those. One, I then don't have to worry about navigating the port, especially if I'm unfamiliar with the port. I do like to book with the cruise line, and that's a good way to go about it, especially, like I said, if you're unfamiliar with that port, because I don't want to have any risk associated to getting back to the cruise on time so that the ship doesn't kind of sail away or I become a pier runner. And I'm too big to be a pier runner. I'm way too big. I will not make most of those, voyages across the pier in a sprint. I might be able to do it for about 20 feet, but not the length of a lot of these piers. Now, one of the things my wife likes to use her onboard credit for is making a spa day. She loves getting her hair done when she's on a cruise ship. That's the most relaxing thing for her, even above a massage or anything along those lines. She loves that. Or you can even use that onboard credit to maybe even purchase a pass for the thermal suites on that ship, so you can enhance your experience on the ship while you're there for that week or maybe even 4 days or even a little bit longer, 9 days, 10 days, 12 days, who knows. But those thermal suites are really nice to kind of have a little hidden secluded area that you can kind of go to and enjoy those hot stone beds or a nice sauna, and some of them have some really nice pools in there as well. Now, another thing that we like to use our onboard credit for is if we're going to a private island or if the ship that we have has one of these things. It's a cabana. I like having my own space when I am on the ship if I don't want to have to deal with those like chair hogs, right? I like having my own space. It's nice to have a cabana, to have that shaded area, to have someone there, always there for you to get food, to get drinks. You don't have to move your lazy butt. This is vacation, folks. We want to have the most relaxing time possible, and a cabana is a great thing. Also, it's a great spot where everybody knows where you're at if you're traveling with a large party, and you can share that cabana with people. So you can work with people to kind of say, all right, I'll use $50 here, I'll use $50, I'll use $50, and you get a decent amount of people, and you can all of a sudden afford a cabana on some ships. As well as on those private islands, it's nice to have that central location where you can get big cabanas like for 12 people and kind of combine, 4 people here, 4 people here, 4 people here to afford them, because they can get pricey. Now, another thing me and my wife like to do when we were on a ship is we like to use our onboard credit for a special date night at a special restaurant. Now, the other thing that we can do with onboard credit, if we want to do more than one date night, is maybe think about picking up a package. One of my favorite packages on Celebrity is called the Trio. I don't like to go to too much specialty restaurants, so 3, 4 of them, sometimes it's just too much. I like 2, and the Trio is perfect for that because you get 2 dinners and 1 special lunch, which is really nice. And I kind of enjoy being able to go to a special restaurant for a lunch on a sea day where I can like have a lighter dinner, but have a really nice lunch. It's a great way to kind of spend the sea day, believe it or not. Now, this one tip is a little bit different. You might not be able to do it on certain cruise lines, but you can use your onboard credit to pay your daily gratuities as well. So if you have onboard credit and you didn't use it for any of the things that I talked about already, with pre-purchases or anything along those lines, you could leave it on your folio. And every day that they charge your folio for your tips, the onboard credit would offset that. So it will cover your tips as well on certain cruise lines. Other cruise lines that might not allow you to do that, so check your cruise line for that as well. Now, you're also going to sometimes see when you get a bill on the ship, there might be a line for additional tips. That you can definitely use your onboard credit for. So that's another way to kind of really help with the crew that you are really enjoying and people are experiencing great, customer service with them. Then you want to give them a little bit of extra tip. You can use your onboard credit for that as well. Now, if you want to kind of try to multiply your onboard credit, the way you can do that is maybe use it in the casino. You can always charge to your room a tab for your casino. And if you have onboard credit, that will offset your tab. So yeah, you can use onboard credit to try Lady Luck to maybe take that $200 onboard credit and all of a sudden make it $400. You never know. You might hit something. But again, the house usually always wins. But hey, you could do that. Now, I'm saving one of the best tips for last here, and that is using your onboard credit to purchase a next cruise certificate when on board. Because when you do that, you can be, in essence, saving 5 to 10% on your next cruise with onboard credit from the current cruise. And it's always nice to add, savings on top of savings on top of savings. That's the way I love to cruise. I love to say, hey, look, I saved money by using onboard credit for a deposit on my next cruise. And when they did that, they gave me an additional $250 onboard credit on this cruise, which I then used for, something else, which was really, really cool. There's all sorts of little tricks and tips with that. Don't hesitate to even ask us at Cruise Seekers when you book travel with us how to kind of enhance that type of experience so that on your next cruise you can save even more money. A good travel agent will help you with that kind of planning. I always help my clients with that type of strategies, and we save them a ton of money by just employing some of these onboard credit strategies to save even more money on their next cruise. Now, the final way you can use your onboard credit is, of course, having a shopping spree on the ship. Now, we don't necessarily do this a lot. The prices on the cruise ship for a lot of the stuff is pretty pricey, especially for the higher quality things. You can get those special deals that they're having all the time in the promenades, but those things are usually cheaper quality and we just don't like them. But if you do have a decent amount of onboard credit, heck, one time we had a decent amount of onboard credit and my son picked a pair of Ray-Bans out for free. Hey, we got a pair of Ray-Bans from the cruise line for free because we had so much onboard credit. It works, folks. So if you have something special that you're kind of looking at and you have a decent amount of onboard credit, think about maybe purchasing it on the ship with your onboard credit, and you basically get a nice little item for yourself for free. So there you go, folks. That's how to use your onboard credit like a champ. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hey, give it a big thumbs up. Like I said before, it does help the YouTube algorithm. It does help this community grow. It helps other people find this great channel so that they can learn how to use their onboard credit too. And if you're still watching this video and you're not a subscriber yet, and I know there's a lot of you folks out there, think about subscribing, hit that notification bell on. We would love to have you here as a member of the Cruise Seekers community. What do you use your onboard credit for? Is there anything on your list that I didn't give in my list? We would love to hear from you in the comment section. We love folks in the comment section, and we try to answer to everybody who leaves a comment in the comment section. So until we talk again next time, this is Rob from Cruise Seekers, reminding each and every one of you to always seek the seas. Bye now.